Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Hey, today we're going to be talking about scene safes, okay? And all this time I've had it 100% backwards. Somebody answered a question or asked a question, I gave an answer, somebody come up and says, no, you got this 100% backwards. And the wording that they used actually just made the light bulb go off in my head, okay? Just a simple phrase that they used. What these do is they will determine what gets recalled, not what gets saved to your scene. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load the factory reset, and then we'll get into how this actually works. Okay, so if we come up here and look at my routing, this is a typical routing for the X32 rack and an S16 stage box or SD16. And that's really all we really need to look at right there, okay? So if we come back up to our scenes, and let's say that we load anything, okay? We're just going to load any scene. And now we have this scene, okay? So as you can see the routing now, everything's changed here because I've got it coming in through the card, and we say, okay, I'm following you, Dana. You know, I'm up to speed. You know, what do you got to show me? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and load this scene right here. And this is the video scene safe. And we'll go ahead and load that. Because there is truly only one way to save your scene to keep anybody from tampering with it or to keep anybody from changing it. And we're going to get to that just here in a second, okay? So here's your church setup. Your pastor mic is always going to be on channel number 1. Your praise and worship leader is going to be on 13. Then you've got your backup singers here, the blue mic, the green mic, and the red mic on channels 14, 15, and 16. Okay? So now when you come up here and you come over here to your mixer safes and you say, okay, I don't ever want channel 1 to change. Channel 13, 14, 15, and 16, I never want these channels to change. And then you've got your left-right going out because it's your mains. Okay, you never want that to change. If you've taken the time to set up your in-ear monitors, okay, and you have your bus sends, where they're going to go, you can select these as well. I don't want to get too confusing with this. Okay, your buses, if you've got your in-ear monitor buses, if you've got compression and gates on it, if you've got EQs on them, okay, then you would select this as well. What this means, from this point forward, any scene that I load, these channels right here will not be affected. It doesn't matter what channel 1 is on another scene, or what channel 13, 14, 15, and 16 is. It just doesn't matter. Because now when I come in and load a scene, okay, even if I go to the factory reset, watch what happens. It's going to come through and do its thing. And those channels right there are not going to change. The EQ doesn't change. The dynamics, the gates, nothing on this changes. If it doesn't matter what scene, like I said, it does not matter what scene that I load. Okay. So what it is it's not saving your scenes. It's keeping these parameters right here from being overwritten. The only way that you are truly going to be able to save your scenes is, I'm going to come over here and take these mixer saves off now. Okay. And let's go ahead now and let's load that same scene. Thoughts of you. Now watch the pastor's mic. Now watch channel, 13, 14, 15, and 16. You see? Now the kick mic. Look at channel 13, 14, 15, and 16 now. These have all changed because that's what the scene told it to change. because there was no recall, and that was the term this fellow used. It's what gets recalled from your scene, not what gets saved to your scene. The only way that you can protect this scene is to come up here and you can export it. Thoughts FX added. I'm going to come down here to my F drive, X32 rack scenes, and save it. Okay. Now, even if I come in here, and I just want to show you this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add these scene saves, because this is what I always thought it meant, guys. Okay, now I'm going to save that scene. It's going to overwrite it. Okay, think about this like a computer file that you're working on in your word processor. You spent 3 hours writing something out, regardless of what it is. Let's just say it's a book report. And as you go through and you make changes, if you always want to keep a master file of that book report, you would always use the Save As option anytime you made changes. And that's exactly what this is telling you right here. Overwrite the scene. Okay? And you say, okay, now we just put the locks on there. We're going to say, okay, we're going to overwrite it. There it is. The locks are in there now. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and load that scene. With the locks on there, I'm going to come up to routing. I'm going to put this back. That's all we have to be concerned with, because I can change everything else, but it's going to be the same. So if I come back to this scene now, and somebody comes in here, and this is what everybody's talking about. Well, somebody messed up my scene. They changed the parameters. I had all these locks on. And you save it and you override it. That's exactly what you're doing. You're overriding the master file. In this case, it's the scene. Okay? So now if we load the factory reset, give it a chance to go through. And now we go back and we load this one. You're going to see our routing has in fact changed. Or I'm sorry, right here. Load, because we had the locks on it. And there's our changes. Okay? Now if we come over here and we import the original, see all those locks go away? You see, we've imported the original scene now. The biggest thing is you want to save your scenes, export them. That's it. That's the bottom line. Okay? That's the only way you can protect it 100%. As far as your recalls, like I said with the church, if you're going to sit there and have these microphones, these certain settings, always on the same setting, regardless of what scene you load. Because that pastor's mic is always going to be the pastor's mic. Okay? Because the praise and worship leader is always going to be on channel 13. Backup singers 14 and 15. Your main left and right is always, your signal is always going to be coming out of your mains. Like I said, over here on your buses, if you've got your in-ears set up, and you want to come in here and you want to do all the stuff that you want to do, or, however you want to set them, then you say, okay, you've got that set. Now, when you start the show, you come in, you turn everything on, you're coming up here, and your mixer saves, you're saying, I always want these parameters to be the same, regardless of what we load in there. And now you've got your bus sends, your matrix, your buses, your EQs. Like I said, if you had them saved before, the bus sends to 1. That's what we just did over here with the in-ear monitors. And now we come over here, bus 1. You can see this parameter right here. Pastor's mic, we load another scene. Well, we can go right back to the factory reset. There's mix bus 1. Okay. It will not change the parameters that you have checked. And just one more time, because I think I even confused myself, guys, it's confusing. It truly is confusing. Okay. So if I come over here and I take these off now, and I load that factory reset again, everything's going to go back to the factory. Okay? Load. Okay? Mix bus 1, as you can see now, everything is gone. Okay? So I hope this clears some things up. If you need some more help on this, if you want to dig a little bit deeper into this stuff, I do it on Zoom. Come on up and check me out, danatucker.com, and we'll see if everybody can get through this. All right, take care, God bless, and we are out of here.